Hello everyone, it's Queen V, and I'm back to you with another video. This video pertains to Bobbi Wilson, the 9-year-old child who was unfortunately lied on by her 71-year-old neighbor, Gordon Lawshe, back in October of this year. It should be noted that Gordon Lawshe is a politician in New Jersey. Reports claim that Gordon Lawshe made a report to investigators stating that there's a little black woman walking and spraying stuff on the sidewalks and trees. I don't know what the hell she's doing. According to reports, New Jersey has a Stomp It Out campaign which encourages residents to unalive invasive spotted lanternflies, which are harmful to plants and trees. After learning the danger of the spotted lanternflies poses to trees and plants in the community, Bobbi Wilson, a 9-year-old child, made it her mission to make her community better. On the day of the incident, Bobbi Wilson was out doing her part by eradicating the invasive species. As she was using the solution, the officer approaches her as she is safely removing the insects with the solution. Then Monique Joseph, her mother, comes outside and sees the officer is speaking to her child. Then she finds out it's her neighbor, former New Jersey council member, Gordon Lawshe, who made the report. After the officer took down the information, it is being reported that the former council member stated in the body cam video, "What a weirdo, huh?" Now you will watch this interview with Bobbi Wilson and her mother, Monique Joseph, on Good Morning America, and I will be back with more commentary.
Joseph intervened when the police arrived, and afterwards she decided to speak out about the incident at a city council meeting. Take a look for yourself.
Based on everything that has transpired, I am concerned and outraged. I want this to be a teachable moment for our town on racial bias, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how we together can ensure that go forward, little black and brown children in this town can feel safe in this community.
And here with us today to talk more about what happened and how the community has since responded are Monique Joseph and Bobbi Wilson. We want to welcome both Monique and Bobbi.
Welcome. Bobbi, thank you. Good to see you.
So nice to have you. Monique, let's start with you. We've seen the body cam footage, but I want you to walk us through what happened from your perspective back in October.
So that was early in a Saturday morning around 11 o'clock a.m. Bobbi went out with her homemade solution to kill the spotted lanternflies that were infested onto the trees that we on our street. A couple of minutes later, I decided to go out and join her, and that's when I noticed that I saw the officer's car slowly passing my home and stopping at my neighbor's home. A couple seconds later, I heard my neighbor yell to the officer, "Go get her." And that's what caught my attention initially, right? So as I saw the officer approaching Bobbi, I'm computing, and I realized that he's stopping to talk to Bobbi. So she's engaging with him, and I say, "Officer, please don't. That's my daughter. She's 9. She's a minor." By the time I got there, he'd asked Bobbi a series of questions. He immediately let me know that she was okay, I was okay, but that he was recording. He had a body cam on. And in that moment, I asked, "Why are you recording?" And he said he had a report that someone was
And you must have been livid. I mean, immediately when I heard of this story, I covered the Tamir Rice story, I thought about that incident there where this little boy was playing with a toy gun and then cops showed up, and in a matter of seconds, it turned out to be a different story. Did that ever come to your attention or raise some type of concern that this could have gone left?
So honestly, when I knew it could have gone left was afterwards, right? So initially, all I knew was that my neighbor called. I approached him, I asked him, why would he call the police? He gave me his version of why he called. It was contradictory to what the 911 transmission. And that was the moment that I realized when he racially profiled my daughter, when he used dog whistle terminology, that was dangerous. That's when I understood exactly what happened.
And we want to let our viewers know that we reached out to your neighbor, Mr. Lawshe's attorney, for comment, but they did not respond. But in a statement to the Daily Beast this November, Mr. Lawshe's attorney confirmed that his client made the call to the police but denied that it was racial profiling. So why did you decide to go to the city council meeting and basically raise awareness?
Well, so for me, it was personal. He's my neighbor. And when I got the 911 transmission, for me, it was clear. He used black woman. He said he was scared. His language, he said he didn't know what she was doing, right? And even afterwards, when the officer went back, because I was able to hear it, the officer explained to him that it was your neighbor and she was spraying the solution. And even his response then, there was nothing about it that sounded like neighborly, right? And the fact that I was there, he was there the entire time, he never tried to approach me to say, oh my God, I made a mistake. You know, a natural reaction would be if you didn't know who you were calling on and then the mom comes out, you know us, he didn't try to intervene. So for me, I just knew that I had to speak out because the 911 transmission was the exact opposite of what he communicated to me.
And we saw your powerful testimony at that meeting. Bobbi, how was it for you hearing your mom speaking up for you, speaking out against this?
Well, I was nervous because I was standing in front of a lot of people, but overall, I was okay.
And Monique, Bobbi has been honored for her work. What has been the reaction from the community?
So the community has been amazing. I've since learned that my community was not just my street, my neighborhood. We've gotten support from all over, and in fact, Yale University, Dr. Ijoma reached out and just said, hey, Bobbi's one of ours. We want to have you guys in, and we want to help you change the trajectory of that day. So Bobbi's been invited to Yale, Princeton, the USDA awarded her, and it's just been amazing, you know, to receive that kind of support.
Well, Bobbi, we're going to tell you right now, you're a rock star. You are a rock star. You keep doing the right thing and looking out for your community, and it's all going to work out for you.
And did I hear you want to be a scientist when you grow up? What kind of scientist do you want to be? Still trying to figure it out?
Yeah.
Tell her what you want to do. Tell her what you want to do.
Well, I like mixing stuff, kind of, like how I made the liquid for the lanternflies.
Oh my, okay.
Bright future ahead.
They come up with
Princeton.
the next vaccine or something that we need for the country. Wow, and she's shaking her head yes. I love that. All right, thank you, Bobbi, and the best of luck to you, and also thanks to you, Mom, as well.
This could have been a tragic incident because of one man's phone call. This former council member thought he had the authority to make a report on a 9-year-old child. What if the officer who arrived on the scene took his word as the truth and unfortunately harmed Bobbi Wilson as she was protecting her community? I need persons to understand how serious this story is. This 71-year-old man of sound mind, who was a former council member, took it upon himself to make a report on a 9-year-old child. The adultification on Black children is a negative stereotype which has consequences not only in the short term but the long term. Our children are suffering with anxiety and PTSD. And if society does not change its biases towards our children, then we will see the deadly consequences when our children are not seen as children and they are seen as adults. I would not be surprised if the former council member is sued for violating Bobbi Wilson's civil rights. You cannot make a false police report on a 9-year-old child. Once again, this incident could have been a tragic one, but I'm glad that the officer handled the situation. However, I wished that he did not approach the child without an adult present. What if Bobbi Wilson's mother was occupied in the house during this incident? I need persons to understand that our children deserve the very best, and they deserve to enjoy their childhood for as long as it takes, and they deserve to keep intact their innocence, because the world can be so cruel. I'm so happy that Bobbi has not only the support of her family, but the community and other organizations. Now you will listen to this brief voice note, and I will be back with more commentary. Something is always going to happen, but I want you to remember this phrase: you can't deny what God has designed. This is my quote to you. You can't deny what God has designed. Continued success, Bobbi Wilson. I know that you are going to continue doing great things. Continue to soaring high. I thank you for watching. Please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.